Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about something that not many people talk about in Lost Ark. And I think it's actually a really important topic and probably something that leads to the longevity of this game because I think that Lost Ark is an MMO at the end of the day. And as a result, in an MMO, a lot of people come here to find other people to play with. And I feel like Lost Ark really doesn't have much of a kind of community building aspect within the game itself. There's nothing that you really do in the game where you're really interacting with other people. Even in raids, which you're playing with 7 other people a lot of times, the most you really say to them is like, I don't know, I'll go C1 or I'm going to go do Clash or do Cloak or something like that, right? For the most part, people don't really talk to each other unless they're maybe inflaming each other. And think about it this way. When was the last time you actually made a friend inside of Lost Ark, like inside of the game, not going out to Discord, not finding a looking for group Discord, nothing like that, inside of the game? I really feel like for me at least, I don't think I've ever made a friend inside of the Lost Ark game itself. The only friends that I made within Lost Ark are usually within mutual connections or things like that, and not really even within my guilds. I don't think I know anybody in my guild, so there really is a lack of social features and functions within the game itself. And I wanted to show you guys a clip of conversation during my stream that was talking about this specific issue. As always, we do this type of stuff on my stream all the time, so if you want to participate in the conversation, please come, hang out. Twitch.tv/BSoXtrue. I stream every single day. But if not, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Lost Ark is the least social MMO I played in my life. It's interesting, right? And I think this is like an interesting topic. Because there's so much emphasis in Lost Ark on group play, right? I'd say Lost Ark has one of the most emphasis on group play out of any other MMO. Because we have to do our raids. And there's so many raids. You have 18 raids a week that you need to do with other people. Now, we don't count solo raids right now. That came later. But in general, most people are doing 18 raids a week. Or like people who are like at the end game, doing 18 raids a week on their characters with other people. But at the same time, it's still the least social MMO out there. So it's like, makes you think, right? Because a lot of people, their excuse for like, and my stance on this has changed over time about like group raids and solo raids. I do think that there is a place for like solo raids to become like end game in Lost Ark. I do think that if you had the option of like going in with one, like having it scale with the people in your party, right? You can go in with one person, you go in with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? All the way up to 8. Having it scale based off of that, I think would be a good system. But I also think that, you know, you don't need to have a group in an MMO for like raids to actually have a social MMO. Raids per roster? I don't think so. Like, I think Cody was having this discussion on a stream one time. It's like, you know, a lot of times it can actually feel a little bit ostracizing in Lost Ark because of the way the raids work. Because when you're playing like BDO or you're playing like MapleStory, even though you don't really like play with other people in a lot of the content, you're like you're like chilling, kicking back with the boys in Discord, hanging out, just chatting while you're doing your fucking grinding or whatever, right? Just talk about your day, how things are going, joke around, whatever, right? But in a situation like Lost Ark, you're gonna have like situations where, because the majority of the game is raiding with groups, so even if you're in the Discord with other people who are raiding together, if you're not in that raid, you're like not talking to them because they're probably like focusing on their comms and things like that, and like, which I think is interesting. Again, the majority of what you're doing in Lost Ark is just raiding. Most of your day, most of your week is just you raiding, and I think it just makes it so like it's like interesting because you would think that raiding and playing with other people would introduce your like make you interact with other people more, but I feel like raiding actually makes you interact with other people less. I don't know that it's like a backwards concept. You can barely talk to someone doing garden raids. Yeah, exactly. It's like if you built in more of like the casual stuff into the game, where it's like you're hanging out on an island together, or you're hanging out like, you know, doing these other things together, right? And like maybe build it around like having like fun moments rather than like, I don't know, Yeah, it's like building fun moments where people will be like, "Oh my god, Lamau, that was so funny," or like, "Yo, holy shit, that happened!" Like, "What the fuck? Oh my god, that was crazy! Wow, I got this drop!" Like, like these like fun moments where you can share with other people. It would make the game a lot more social, and it like the answer to being social in Lost Ark is not like group raids. You just don't talk to people in your raids. If anything, the only time you ever say anything is when you're flaming somebody. The only word I hear is skip. Yep.